We always give you our power rankings, looking at the log standings after match day 10. Who did what? Who were the biggest movers? Who shocked you the most? So yeah, here we go as we run through. Dynamo's failing to score again. Highlanders winning their first, getting their first win on the road this season. And this is how the log is like after 10 match days. So I will start with you, Vero. Yes, as usual, those team in green, they gained Scotland, Highlanders tell one. I'm not so sure about Dynamos and Caps gaining. Oh, Dynamos was in the relegation zone. Caps were further down. But with the movement of other teams, they then got up. Steady teams, FC Platinum, Manica Diamonds. Vero, who shocked you the most this past weekend?
Highlanders. Looking at the manner in which Yada was giving a lot of pressure, although failing to be clinical in front of the goal, I didn't foresee them maintaining that lead that they'd created right in the 4th minute. You know, Highlanders we've known them for giving up their score lines just like that. So I was just, it kept me on the edge of the seat right up to the end, because I wasn't really sure. Yada wanted to come from the back and they were really pressuring them that much. So I was just wondering if they were going to be able to withstand the pressure up until the end.
Mr. Teach, I look at more Scotland, 1 and 2, kind of takes us back to Division 1 from last season. Because this was the story in the Northern Region, Division 1, for much of the season, or until the later stages when then it was flipped. Moors were second and Scotland were on top. What have these two teams done?
I think Moors in particular, because if you look at it, sitting on number 1 there with that orange steady. And I think that's been built on consistency. And I was surprised. I really did not expect them to go to Leveve. Yes, Chicken Inn have been below par at the start of the season, but to go to Leveve as a newly promoted team with the pressure of expectation that is now starting to build behind them, because now people have started going 9 matches unbeaten, 10 matches unbeaten. I mean, we've seen other teams start to crumble when that attention is focused on them. So for them to be able to go there and do that, I think that's been impressive. But it's also, I think, the football project that is behind the team. You look at the work that has been done at Ngoni Stadium. I think we've not heard any funny stories about player unrest or anything. There have been questions in the past about how Coach Lloyd Samaitamtasa sometimes handles pressure, and you don't have to look too far behind. You just go back to the Northern Region, like you said, towards the tail end, when it looked like they had one hand on promotion, and when Scotland started to put the pressure, they sort of fell apart. So as much as we respect and appreciate Samaita as a wonderful tactician with enticing football philosophy, there's always been a question mark about, can he maintain those performances week in, week out? Can his team handle the pressure? And slowly but surely, he's starting to answer that. But you look at Scotland now. Scotland, I think, it looked like after, I think they went for a run of about 2-3 draws without picking up wins. And all of a sudden, there was talk of upheaval and all these things. And then just 2 wins, back-to-back wins, they're within 3 points of the top of the table. And you look at it, you're like, you know what? Were we making noise about nothing in terms of looking at the perceived crisis that was happening at the club? So I think football globally is about organizational structures, and for you to be able to maintain those organizational structures, you need to have a sound financial backing. And I think that's what, if you look at those top clubs, you look at Moors, Scotland, Simba Bora, and maybe to a certain extent Highlanders. Highlanders might not have the same financial resources as the 3 teams above them, but they've got stability in terms of their structure. Whether you're going from Boso 90 to their support base and everything. So when you do the right things, when you have the right fundamentals in football, it reflects on the table. Look at Tel 1, I think they're also stable. So it speaks to that. I look at the bottom, it's chaos.
Yeah, I like the word chaos because I asked you one thing and you are just weaving and you're going. But David, for you really, when you look at this log table here, and you know, I'm gonna add in Simba Bora to those top 3 teams because they are also on 19, just like Scotland there. Do you kind of feel like Simba Bora will also be the team to beat this season?
Yeah, they started slowly. You know, when they lost to Dynamos, I think there was a lot of talk, I think, from the Shamba community that Joe is not the right man for the job, something like that. But I still believe Kuti, Joe is the right man for the job. Look where he is now. 4 wins last month and a draw. And it has pushed Simba Bora to be where they are. And if you look at the way he is playing also, I think the team has got structure. You know, how they are playing Mauchi, you know. A lot of people were doubting him and say, no, maybe last year because Tunde Andrea was there, he took him from Dynamos, blah, blah. But now he's still a stellar and he's giving a stellar performances, you know, from the back. I think Joe has come in and also starting his new things, you know, with new players. Remember, he only worked with Donald Mdadi, he worked with Emmanuel Zuocha, those that, you know, he worked with Dynamos. I think those were only the guys that knew what Joe wants. The rest of the guys were all new to the Joe system. So for now, I think they're now getting used to, you know, game 10 and look at where they are. It tells you that now they're starting to get those strides back. When they played against Moors, they played a new draw, which was entertaining. You know, it was entertaining, and there are draws that you find out they'll be boring, but there are draws that they give value to the money, the type of football that will be played. Lots of chances created. Of course, there will be few misses, some of the misses that you think they can be turned into goals. So those are the things that when you get to training on a Tuesday, you start working on them. And for me, I still feel it's going to be a very good race. If you look at the teams that from 14 points going upwards there, I think it's going to be a very, very tight race from there. And like what teacher said, if you go down there,
Let's not talk
a
about
sorry
the teams
state.
that are down there.